and I felt it was quite a feisty Barry Ferguson in today's press conference. It seems to me as if there's quite a lot starting to come to fruition, maybe crystallising a little bit around this issue. Andy, is that your reading of this?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly alluding to, I mean, just to explain the sort of chain of events, obviously the last night the news sort of breaks, as you say, Spain, Italy, big publications in Madrid especially, like Marca, AS, who, generally when they report something, you can take it to the bank. So, but obviously we're racing to clarify that the story at our end, and the sort of mood music we're getting from senior figures at the club was that, yeah, listen, this is a guy, they weren't shooting down or confirming any names, but I think we can take it as read that Davide Ancelotti is a candidate, but they're working their way through that, and he's not the only candidate, and it might take a wee while yet before there's an appointment made. So that seemed to sort of water down some of the excitement that was building around.
Is it excitement, Andy?
Well, this is what I was going to say. I was going to come on to. I mean, like, for me, this is any managerial appointment is a gamble, but this seems like a real gamble. I mean, we're talking about, this is a huge summer cup for Rangers, so much at stake. Off the field, on the field, there's going to be a huge change, and to entrust that to a guy that, listen, Davide Ancelotti might be the next big thing out there, but there's no track record to go on. I mean, the obvious accusation is he's only in these positions. He's only worked at Bayern Munich. He's only worked at Napoli. He's only worked at Everton. He's only worked at Real Madrid because of his dad. And listen, the only way he can disprove those notions is to go out on his own and to set himself up a career of his own. But I think for the Rangers support, they'll be thinking, is Ibrox the place that they want to see him do that? Is Ibrox the place to be cutting your teeth? It's a huge gamble. Listen, as I said, with all managerial appointments, you can only nobody can foresee them being successes or failure. You just have to sort of put your money.
It's surely about minimising risk. Every managerial appointment, the kind of first and kind of priority target for any board should be minimise the risk. This one seems to be the potential to maximise the risk. I'm not sure about it, Andy. I've got to be honest. I think he is probably a person of interest, but I'm not sure. And I tell you why, right? And this is the sort of journalistic side of it. When the story first came out, do you know what my first reading was? I thought, this looks like Carlo Ancelotti, one of the most respected, well-connected managers anywhere in world football, has asked a couple of guys that he knows to put the feelers out, maybe put his son's name out. He was linked with Como. He was linked with Rangers, decent size of jobs. I just felt I felt it had Carlo Ancelotti's fingerprints on it when that information first came out. Then last night, something really weird happened when it was almost being presented in some places online as a fait accompli, a done deal.
Yep.
And that was very strange. And then when you make the phone calls and you find out that actually the process hasn't got anywhere near the point of having a done deal or even a preferred candidate, then you start to wonder, well, why is this coming out and why are they wording it so strongly from the Spanish end and from the Italian end? So that's it's just raised a few red flags for me, Andy. Yeah. I'm just not sure about them.
I agree, because that's what the point I was maybe garbling my way towards, is that there's a contradiction here. At one end of the deal, there seems to be some confidence that he's going to be the man. They're naming his assistants. They're even suggesting start dates. He's obviously going off to Brazil.
Francesco Mauri, wasn't it?
A couple of fixtures, and start the June window. So, whereas obviously people close to the Rangers here are just trying to lower the expectations of that. So, listen, maybe he is. Maybe they just want to. Maybe this is just a PR strategy. It's a bit like the Ronnie Dyler situation where he went to Celtic. They spent a couple of days before confirming the name, just trying to allow the narrative to build and just to familiarise him as a character, as a candidate to the Celtic support, so that when he does get the job, it's not a total shock. If you just go out and name Ancelotti Jr., the new Rangers manager, tomorrow, most Rangers fans, the breakneck speed of that would have most of Rangers sports suffering whiplash. So maybe that's part of it. I'm not sure. But listen, certainly the mood music coming out of Ibrox last night is like, hold on, no, there's other people still in the frame here. We've not come to a firm decision. This could certainly be a few more weeks off yet. But as we've discussed already this week, Rangers need to get a move on. So they don't have the time to waste. They don't have the time to do a big lengthy search. They have to just pick somebody and go with it and hope for the best. But as you say, handing the keys to Ibrox to a manager who's never been out
manager
and who has, let's being kind, has only been at the clubs he's been at because of his old man. That I think a lot of Rangers fans will be concerned by that.